absence has a sound I never expected. The apartment holds its breath, like it's waiting for your key. The coffee cup you left is still sitting where you'll never be. I've memorized the way the silence moves through every corner, like a ghost that knows me better than I know myself anymore. There are echoes in the empty room, whispers of your name, bouncing off the walls where we carved our initials into time. I'm not mourning what we were, I'm honoring the weight of something real that loved me even as it slipped away. You're not gone from me, you're just rearranging the way I understand what it means to be changed by someone. The rooms feel bigger now, but my heart feels fuller somehow, knowing I was loved by you, and that will never fade. Distance is just another word for perspective, and I'm finally seeing clearly what we built was real. Even as the echoes fade, they're teaching me that love was never meant to stay exactly as it was. And always will be. Break me open, let me see what's been hiding in the space between what was and what will be. I traced your shadow on the wall this morning, found pieces of us in the coffee cup. The house is louder now that you're not here to soften it. Every corner holds a conversation we never finished. I'm learning how to breathe in a different rhythm, how to fill the silence with something other than your name. We broke like fractured light through stained glass, beautiful in the breaking, casting colors we can't hold. I'm gathering the pieces, but some stay behind in the places where we lived before we learned to say goodbye. You left your jacket on the chair by the window. I wore it for a week, then I had to let it go. The rain sounds different now, like it's washing something clean. Like maybe this is how we're supposed to begin again. And I don't hate you for leaving. I hate that I understand why you had to. I hate that love sometimes means knowing when to leave. In the space between what was and what will be, I'm finally learning how to live. Down where the pressure keeps building, my father never learned to swim, but he taught me to float. Said sometimes survival is just staying still enough to breathe. I inherited his fears and a strange kind of courage, the ones that contradict each other in the dark. Every wave that pulls me under teaches me to fight. Every time I think I'm drowning, I remember how to rise. I'm climbing the undertow, climbing back to life, from the place where everything tells you always roar. Mine started with a whisper, a single note spoken to the dark, a small decision that felt like blasphemy against everything I'd been. Choosing myself in a world that taught me I was selfish for existing, building my own religion out of self-respect. And nobody noticed at first the earthquake happening inside, until I started moving different, speaking different, being different. This is the quiet revolution, the soft uprising of a soul who finally decided her own worth wasn't negotiable. No flags, no violence, just the radical act of choosing to honor myself, to protect my own life, to stop shrinking. They called it selfish, called it pride, but I was calling it survival, calling it love. The most revolutionary thing I could do was stop apologizing for taking up space. Change doesn't have to shake the ground. Sometimes it's the steady ground beneath your own feet. The moment you stop waiting for permission, the moment you become your own authority. This quiet revolution is my heartbeat, and it's changing everything. In the quiet after the thunder stops, I spent so long waiting for it to break that I forgot what stillness felt like. The rain stopped, the wind died down, and suddenly there was nothing to brace myself against. The hardest part isn't surviving the storm, it's learning to exist in the calm. When the storm finally passes, you have to face the debris, the life you've been too busy protecting to really live. But there's light in the wreckage, gold in the broken places, and the person who weathered it all knows how to rebuild. My hands are shaking from the habit of holding on. The silence feels dangerous after all that noise, but I'm learning the piece isn't empty. It's full of possibility. It's the blank page where I get to start writing again. I don't know how to be still, but I'm learning. I don't know how to believe this won't come back, but I'm trying, and maybe that's enough, maybe that's everything. Just the willingness to see what comes next. In the quiet after the thunder stops, I'm finally hearing myself breathe. 24/7, still believing in your own magic. The world will tell you you're too loud, too much, too strange. But hold on to that voice that sings in the shower without apology. You'll need it when the silence comes. I'm writing this from the other side of her, to tell you what I wish someone had whispered then. The scars you're terrified of now are just your map. The detours and the failures are where you'll learn to fly. Everything you think is broken will become your most honest part. And the person you're becoming will thank the girl you are for staying. Dear girl at 16, drowning in what everyone expects. The disappointment on their faces isn't your responsibility to fix. You can love them and still save yourself. These aren't mutually exclusive truths. I know you feel like you're running out of time, like everyone else has the instruction manual and you got the blank page. But that blank page is your superpower. It means you get to decide what's written there. Dear girl, at every age, dear where the bitterness lived. Every river finds its way back to the ocean. I've been running toward everything except myself, chasing versions of happiness that look good in photographs, but tasted like ash on my tongue, like borrowed dreams. I lost the sound of my own voice in the noise. But there's a pull I can't deny, gravity calling me home. Not to a place, but to the person I've always been underneath. I'm returning to the source, to the quiet before I learn to perform, to the part of me that knows what I need without asking permission. This is the homecoming nobody announces, the revolution of coming home to yourself, where you finally recognize the face in the mirror as your own. It's not about undoing the journey, it's about understanding it. Every detour led me closer to this moment of recognition. But the person I was looking for was walking beside me all along, just waiting for me to finally turn around and see. Home is not a place you left, it's a knowing you return to again and again. It's the truth you can't unlearn once you've remembered it. I've come home to myself, and I'm never leaving again. Every current pulls me further from the shore I knew. They told me which direction happiness was waiting, but my bones kept pulling me another way. Against the current, against the comfortable tide of doing what was easier than what was true. And now I'm moving through the resistance, feeling every stone beneath my feet, knowing that the struggle itself is what's changing me. I'm swimming upstream against the life I was supposed to live, trading the gentle current for the strength it takes to push against the drift. They say I'm fighting for nothing, but I know I'm fighting for myself. And every ache, every doubt, every moment I almost turn back is proof that I'm finally heading home. The exhaustion is honest, at least. Unlike the quiet desperation of following someone else's map. My lungs are burning, but my spirit's breathing for the first time since I learned to disappear. Upstream is where I find my own voice, in the roar of the water, in the burn of the fight. This is what courage tastes like, not fearlessness, but moving forward anyway. I'm swimming toward the source, and I will not turn around again. Every scar tells a story. I'm still learning to read. I was smaller then, held tight by comfortable lies. Now I'm standing in the mirror, barely recognizing my own eyes. The version of myself I promised I would never be is standing right here, looking back at me. And I'm learning that the path to knowing who you are means leaving pieces of yourself behind like falling stars. This is the weight of becoming, the cost of finally growing, shedding skin I wore like armor, though the cold air leaves me shaking. I'm not lost, I'm just learning that transformation asks everything and gives you back a question. They say it gets easier, the letting go, the breaking through, but nobody warned me how much of myself I'd lose to find the person underneath the fear, the one I was meant to be out here. So I'll hold this ache like holy ground, where the old me and new me finally found a way to coexist, to understand that falling apart is how we truly stand. I'm becoming, even when it breaks me open. I'm becoming, and that's enough. There's a threshold I keep standing at. My mother told me that change is the only honest thing. Everything else is a lie we tell ourselves. I didn't understand until I became someone different, and look back at the person I was with the eyes of a stranger. Growing costs something, though they never tell instead of wounds. Yeah, the threshold between who I was and who